Hey there, everyone. This is Samuel Johnson, and welcome back to the Phantom Perspectives. And just a little heads up, I'm doing this vlog during a storm, so you're probably going to be hearing some booming and thunder and so forth during the vlog. So I just wanted to let you know and apologize in advance for that, so you're not surprised, so you're not wondering what any lingering background noise is. But anyway, but today we're going to be discussing episode 11 of Danny Phantom Fanning the Flames, and in this episode, a new singer has kind of hit the scene in Amity Park, and it's essentially kind of one of those pop singers, and her name is Ember McLean. She's this chick who apparently came out of nowhere, and pretty much she's ever since she arrived, everyone just loves her. Everyone's wearing merchandise with her face on it. They're all dressing like her. They all got pretty much just everyone's obsessed with her, even though she seems like a one-hit wonder, as she constantly sings a song that it's just all about her. It's all about her and her name and blah, blah, blah. Pretty much the only people who aren't who aren't infatuated with her music are Danny and Sam, who just don't understand why she's so popular. Well, they actually kind of get an answer as during the school day, Ember winds up rolling up to the high school and starts playing, which causes just a crowd pretty much everyone in the school to gather around her truck in mass to pretty much just watch her show. And Principal Lancer, who is just hearing all this, is just trying his best to educate the students because a standardized test is going to be coming up, and he's trying to get them to cram with this new machine that's supposed to pretty much cram all the knowledge in over a span it's supposed to just cram all the knowledge into a student's brain. But when he actually tries to get the crowd to listen to him, Ember winds up hitting a dial on her switch hits a dial on her guitar, strums on it, and suddenly all the people who hear her music suddenly turn nasty towards Lancer. Their eyes go red and everything, and yeah, it's revealed that Ember's a ghost. As such, Danny transforms and saves Lancer before any serious harm can be done to him, but before he can turn his attention to Ember, she's already gone. As such, they realize that whatever's going on, they need to stop her, and they have to find out what. So, and the next lead they have is that apparently she's going to be performing a show at the mall, and anyone who goes there will get advance tickets to a concert that she's having that night at midnight, which includes jazz. Actually, which I kind of find funny, but whatever. But pretty much everyone in the high school goes there during the school day. The only ones that don't go, and while Tucker tries to go, Sam and Danny trying to pretty much undo his brainwashing, just strap him into a chair and hook him up to the cramming device to try and get Ember's notes out of his head. They in turn sneak out of school as well to try and head Ember off and to try and get to the concert and stop her. But unfortunately, on their way there, when they get there, they are able to distract the crowd long enough with Ember drawing graffiti on a giant standee, and which allows Danny to come flying in and knock Ember aside. But as Danny and Ember are fighting, she starts getting the upper hand as the crowd inside the mall and outside are just constantly cheering her name, and the more they cheer, the stronger she gets, and I think that's partly why her song is all about her. So they'll actually be cheering her name more and more and more, and unfortunately that's exactly why it just keeps going on and on. They just keep cheering. As such, Ember is able to overpower Danny, and Sam climbs up to the roof because Danny had dropped the Fenton thermos back when he was inside the mall, so she's coming up to get him, But Ember, realizing that Danny and Sam are possible threats, decides that she needs to find a way to keep them distracted. And so she flips another switch on her guitar and strums, and only this time it winds up singing a... That's lovely. And this actually winds up... It's supposed to be a love spell, which hits Danny and Sam hard, though Danny is flung right onto a standee which was knocked over, and the top half is and the top is actually is hanging over the side of a building. However, Sam is still unaffected for some reason, and I will get back to that. It's involves something that I didn't talk about earlier. But Danny, unfortunately, is now completely affected. Like, the thing they say is that apparently Danny's powers, the reason Danny wasn't why Ember didn't have any effect on Danny was because he was part ghost. But with all the people chanting, she was able to finally influence him. So he's now completely infatuated with Sam, but Sam, for some reason, is still unaffected. We don't know why. And unfortunately, the love spell hit Danny so hard that he's not thinking clearly. As when he sees Sam hanging off the standee, he starts crawling over to her, and the closer he gets, the more the standee starts to tilt until she almost falls out the building, and she's only saved because the SWAT team arrived because Lancer apparently called the cops on them. Well, as such, all the students are escorted back to their homes, and they're all grounded because they all ditched school. With Jack wanting to throw his kids into an Iron Maiden, which actually ends up with him going in there. But pretty much all the kids all ultimately sneak out as another van playing Ember's music plays by, and I love how Jazz actually sneaks out. She has a grappling hook and she just grapples out of her room while everyone else just climbs out their windows. But among the people who snuck out were Sam, who snuck over to Danny's, where she finds like a little shrine on his bed for all of her crap, like gum that she had, a strand of her hair, just pictures of them, and yeah, it's creepy. It's just creepy. But she's still wondering why. However, she's still wondering why she's unaffected, and Danny keeps it. And the more Danny insists that they're a couple, and she says that they're not, he says, "Well, it's like, well, why are you still wearing those headphones I gave you?" And yeah, this is something I didn't mention earlier in the episode. The very first thing that we saw was that Sam, Danny, and Tucker were in the ghost zone with the Fenton speeder and everything, and Danny had given Sam and Tucker these what they called the Fenton earphones, which not only was supposed to allow them to communicate, but it filtered out any spectral noise and so forth. But it filtered out any spectral noise. And Sam mentioned that she thought that they were nice accessories, so she never took them off. And it turns out those are the reason why Sam was unaffected. When she heard Ember's music, it filtered out the headphones wound up filtering out the mind control aspects of the music, so she was left unharmed. However, even with that knowledge, Danny is still affected by the love spell, so she thinks that maybe they need to deprogram him like they did Tucker, and at least a funny moment where they realize they forgot all about Tucker, and it turns out that while they were able to deprogram him, he's now a whiz on everything that they need for the test. Unfortunately, by the time they go to get Tucker, it's 15 minutes till midnight, and the concert is supposed to be at midnight. And Ember mentioned that her concert was going to be televised worldwide, and as they showed, Ember's power comes from people chanting her name. And so with the entire world chanting her name, she'll become extremely powerful, which will in turn allow her to control people more. Essentially, she'll be able to just take over the world with all the admiration she's being given. As such, the three manage to sneak into her concert and want to try and shut down the terminal to keep everything from being broadcast. But while Tucker starts shutting it down, he accidentally turns on the PA system and winds up apparently just dropping a bit of random knowledge, which in turn gets the attention of Ember and her and her security, which in turn is Dash and Jack, and I think I forget Jake Chan. I think that's his name. I don't remember. I keep forgetting. I don't remember his name. I remember Dash because it's similar to Flash, but I don't remember the other guy's name. But bottom line, they detain the three while Ember goes out on concert and just starts singing and singing. The crowd keeps cheering her name, and as her concert's being televised around the world, more people are cheering, and she's getting stronger. And Sam keeps trying to go Danny into going after her, trying to fight her and so forth, but Danny still does not want to leave Sam because because he's just so in love with her. And so Sam realizes that if she can't break the spell by her own, she has to do the next best thing, break his heart. So she manages to struggle out of Dash's grip because he was the one holding her, and she plants a kiss on him. which both are disgusted by. But this in turn breaks Danny's heart, and this in turn actually breaks Danny's heart, so that he realizes that they were never a couple in the first place, and well, he's pissed, like really pissed, as he sees Ember out there, realizes that this was all her doing, the spell and all and so forth, and so he decides that he goes ghost and goes to fight her on stage, which actually, and while they are pretty evenly matched, and leads to a kind of awesomely stupid moment where Danny grabs the mic stand and he and Ember have a sword fight with her guitar and the mic stand. But ultimately, she still overpowers Danny, even trapping him in a vortex, as people keep cheering because they all think this is part of the show. However, Danny realizes he needs something to break the spell, so that they stop chanting her name, so she'll be too weak to fight him. He needs something so bad that it could break them, and then he looks at Tucker. And something they established early on is that Tucker is tone deaf. He tried singing Ember's music, and he just blew it, like really blew it. And so Danny realizes that if they want to break the spell, they got to use Tucker. So he throws the microphone to Tucker, tells him to sing, and yeah, Tucker butchers Ember's music, and it pretty much breaks the spell over everybody. As the music is so horrible that everyone stops chanting Ember's name, and everyone that was watching the broadcast on the world actually starts booing it or destroying their televisions. They just can't stand it. and as such, the people stop chanting Ember's name, and she in turn winds up losing all of her power, which allows Danny to finally suck her into the Fenton thermos. As such, the next day, apparently all the student body failed the exam because they didn't study when they should have. The one exception being Tucker, who thanks to his cramming got a perfect score, and is actually able to is exempt from the makeup exams because of this. As such, in the meantime, the episode pretty much ends with us showing what Danny did with Ember, and she's in the ghost zone with this I want to say, which I don't remember his name, the guy from Of Mice and Men, I forgot his name. Not George, the other guy. I forgot his name. Sorry. But pretty much this moron who says he wants to be your friend, who wears footy pajamas, and pretty much just Ember stuck with him as he keeps chanting her name, and it just, instead of making her powerful, it just gets on her nerves. So I will just say it right now, this episode's adorable. Like, it's just cute. Like, and it's not because of the Ember stuff, and I must look at that out of the way now. Ember is a good villain. I like her. There's nothing spectacular about her, but she's entertaining. I love her design. It's just kind of like a punk rock sort of thing, which is really nice and kind of fits her tone. And I will openly admit the song is actually pretty catchy, despite the fact that it's all about Ember and everything. But she's actually a pretty good villain. But she's an alright villain and does her job. And I kind of do like the whole music being taking her the whole mind control through music. It's a pretty standard stuff, but honestly, I think the thing that makes this episode cute, admittedly, is Danny and Sam. Like, while Ember was the one that put the love spell on Danny and made him infatuated with Sam, that's not the only moment that we have a cute. That's not that we actually do have some moments between Danny and Sam earlier in the episode, and I just had to admit it's cute. Like, people keep calling them lovebirds earlier, and while they adamantly deny it, we keep seeing them just kind of just growing closer, just little by little. Like, we see Danny, Sam likes the headphones, and Danny just kind of, and when she keeps saying that Danny gave them to her, they think he's a little flattered. And when Danny wound up fighting off that guy in the footy pajamas, he wound up getting cold, and so Sam holds his hands to keep him warm, which is all. It's like this episode is just trying to push the ship. It's just trying to ship them together, and it's just so cute. And it's just another one of those moments, and I feel like the whole episode is kind of encompassing that, and especially with the whole love spell, which while Sam said openly that she kind of enjoys a little bit because of all the attention, she also admits that she's but the fact that how she breaks the spell also kind of, well, she doesn't want, it kind of hurts her too. Like, she keeps trying to go Danny into action, but when she realizes that he's just pretty much useless while he's just love struck, when she breaks his heart, she it's not something she really enjoys doing. She even openly admits that that she doesn't know if she wants to be in a relationship with Danny or not. Like, she likes being friends with him, but like she thinks maybe she wants that, but she doesn't know it. But she really doesn't know, it's perfect teenage drama and so forth, which is just nice, and it's just so cute. It's just cute. That's what it is. It's just cute. Danny and Sam in this episode are cute, and it's sprinkled throughout the entire episode. Just little moments with them, and it really is so adorable. That's just really the whole thing with the episode. It's adorable. The stuff with Ember is good, and it is a nice plot, but I honestly think that the stuff between Sam and Danny is kind of what helps move the episode along, and I like that. Ember is a good villain. Ember's an alright villain. I like her, and again, she's voiced by Tara Strong, who I think can do no wrong. But it's just the chemistry between Danny and Sam. This episode kind of keeps pushing a possible relationship with them, which even they don't know if they want or not, which I like. It's a nice angle and helps really fit the teenage drama. Again, teenagers are unsure of themselves. They don't know what they want to do. And especially when it comes to relationships. Sometimes they run away from the relationships, like I did once, or they can actually grow, or maybe they just want to keep or maybe they don't know if they want to or maybe they want a relationship, but they don't know it, but they don't know if they want it or not. But it's just all so cute between them. And they're honestly the big driving force of the episode. Ember is a nice part of the episode, and I like Ember. I really do. And I like the song, I like her design, I like her character, and I kind of like how despite her evil plan, she does sort of have a stereotypical rock star persona. But honestly, Danny and Sam are kind of the bread and butter of this episode. I'm sorry, but my dog's... I'm gonna bring him up right now. Ugh. He does not like thunderstorms. So he's probably gonna be here for the rest of the episode. So, again, they're just kind of they're just kind of what drives the episode, and it's full of little moments like that. Like I mentioned how they had to go to the mall to try and stop her concert. Danny and Sam are flying together, and Sam just sees Danny flying there. It's kind of got the tone of when Lois Lane were flying with each other in the first Superman movie. It's just them. It's just like a cute little moment between them, and while neither actually say anything, they're obviously having feelings and being close to each other and just sharing this moment together. It's just cute. It's all cute, and that's really what this episode is. It's cute. The stuff with Ember is nice, but it mostly is there to help support what's going on with Sam and Danny, and I think really that's what the big glue that holds the episode together. So, yeah, Fanning the Flames is just a cute episode, a really cute episode, and I think that's really all I can say. So, yeah, thanks for watching. I'm Samuel Johnson, and I hope I think next week is the return of, screw it. It's Technus. Next week is Technus. So, I hope anyway. So, yeah. Thank you for watching. I'm Samuel Johnson, and I'll see you then. Take care. Say hi to the puppy.